daily oracle reading for February 22nd through 28th. I do believe it is a leap year in the year of 2016. So does that mean that we as women, now we've of course evolved past this, that we get to ask men to the dance? Isn't there not a Sadie Hawkins dance? Or is it the opposite? This is the year that we don't do it. Any way you cut it, there is February 29th this year, but that is in the following week. This is about this week and then wrapping up from last week. So hello, little hawk. So I'm in the car again. I am going to drive, and do not worry, I am not in any danger. I don't go down any crazy streets or anything. I kind of know where I'm going, you know? So let's drive. Come with me for a drive, will you? Let's go for a Sunday drive. La 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 la. Okay, so last week, Whitehawk had said that the week would start off with a bang, right? And so it did. In Ottawa, we got record-breaking snowfall and a record-breaking, the fact that my kids had 2 snow days off. Oh, great for them. Not so great for mom, you know? So that's how it started off for a bang with us. Now, to me, the fact that there was this huge storm signaled the ending of a cycle. And, you know, funny enough, the following day, after that huge snowstorm, it took 2 days for this city to dig out of it, which is really unusual, right? Because we're so accustomed to snow here. And I think people are probably still digging out from it. But anyways, the following day, New Energy actually, like, literally phoned me up. It's so funny. So when these things happen in your region, you know, you might not get snow, but maybe you're going to get more disastrous tornadoes. Maybe you're going to get hurricanes. Maybe there's flooding. You know, I mean, we're afraid of those things, and, you know, so we should be. But they shake up the energy, right? I mean, I don't want disasters, world disasters or anything, but they shake up the energy and they put you into context or positions with other people you never ever would have been with before had these things not happened. But also these things happen and it irritates people, right? Like, so it was all this snow. Imagine all the people. I was out there. We have a snowblower. We have like a corner lot. So we tend to get all the snow, right, pulled over to our lot from the plows when they go by. So we have excess snow to have to do. And so I was out there with the snowblower for like 3 years. Three years. It certainly felt that way. 3 hours. And then the next day, trying to do my front path, I was out there, I think, for another hour because the pile of snow was almost 6 feet high because of the plow. My kids were with me, so it was all right. But anyways, you know, imagine all that snow that you're plowing, and then you got to go back out again. Like, you get irritable, right? You've had it. And then, I mean, I wasn't, but I can see how it happens, like, where people get irritable, and then it causes fights within the family. And then you might finally decide, you know what, that's it. I've had it. Like, I'm not staying in my marriage anymore, or my relationship, or I'm changing jobs. I can't handle stuff happening like this anymore. So you change. So it does shift the energy. It really does, in an odd way, but it really does, right? Because it brings things to surface and to light. So I think sometimes Mother Nature, you know, she is on our side, even though she sort of seems really rough at times. And of course, she is. I mean, I'm not talking about maybe 50 centimeters. I mean, I'm talking about, sorry, 50 centimeters of snow falling. I'm not talking about, you know, the earthquakes that happen in Nepal and they destroy things. I'm not talking about that, although those are huge shifts, not to mention there was an earthquake actually in New Zealand this past week, right? And that's an indicator that there are huge shifts going on. The vibrational shift within Mother Earth herself is changing when stuff like this happens. So that's what happened here. It did start off with a huge bang, and you know, bittersweet. Can I say it's bittersweet? Not yet, but it's certainly starting to reveal itself. Now, I didn't hear from any of you guys in regards to how it showed itself to you, but try to look outside yourself. So try not to look for the big things like these Mother Nature. Also, look for the smaller things that happened in your life. You know, the ending of your soccer season, ending of volleyball season, ending of book club season, stuff like that. Those are endings, right? Which allow you new beginnings. You might get fresh energy and decide to go do something else with your life, which opens up new energy in your life. So that's, you know, Whitehawk teaches us about the cycles in life. All right, so that's last week. We're going to go get Whitehawk and we're going to see what he has to say for this upcoming week as soon as I park. All right, so the other thing I wanted to say before I go get Whitehawk is that when we have big storms and you have disasters that happen like that, people come out, helpers come out, right? People do wonderful things, and you get to see people doing great deeds and stuff like that during those times. You know, I don't know how many cars I've seen stuck, and I've seen people getting out and helping those people shovel to get them out. So you see wonderful things happen, and you meet up with people that you probably would have never met up with before. So that's other ways that those things happen. Who knows how many relationships will be started because of that. I think of those things, right? Okay, so let's go get Whitehawk and see what he has to say, excuse me, for this upcoming week. Indeed, little ones. Welcome to you one, and welcome to you all, to what will turn out to be a less than disastrous week for many of you. In fact, it will turn out to be a week of opportunities, a week of joyfulness, a week of playfulness, where we find ourselves in positions where we normally wouldn't find ourselves. And indeed, it does cause us to be outside of our comfort zone, but creating so much joy and excitement all at the same time. And the reason the energies will be as such is simply because, well, as this one has said, new energy has arrived at an alarming rate, and the shifts are arising at such alarming rates, and we are having a difficult time coping with all the energy. In fact, that many of us are falling prey to such things as colds, fatigue, because we are having a hard time aligning with the energy. And so the reason the week will be going as such is simply because the new energy is here and it's coming up and out. If you would think such as a seed that has been planted, it will be time for the seed to start to sprout. And although you may not see the actual greenery, or the actual plant coming up and out of the ground, I assure you that the growth is there and it has begun. You're just not able to see it as of yet. So a great week on tap after what was a very difficult and challenging week, n'est-ce pas? But oftentimes, I have said this before, that sometimes we need to go through the chaos, we need to go through the difficulties, the challenges, to get to the other side. There is no other way, my darlings, but to go through it, to go to the other side. And so for the many of you who are still on the other side, and the visual he gives me is people, so there's a lake or a water, and so we were meant to leave this side of the lake to go to the other side, but many of you haven't left land. In fact, you have 1 foot in the boat and 1 foot on land. And he says, yes, there are many of you who chose not to get in the boat and to ride the waves this week. But now you'll see those people who chose to get in that boat and ride the tide are now on the other side of it this week, and will be very much enjoying and reaping the benefits of riding the tide. And so now he's showing the people that did ride the tide, and they're, 1 foot's, he shows me them stepping out of the boat. You can see them just getting out of the boat onto land. And he says yes. And so those are the people who will reap the rewards. So I would encourage all of you scaredy cats on the other side, get in that boat and just ride the wave. Ride it. Stop trying to control everything, my children. The more you try to control, the more you keep life from coming towards you. So just get in the boat and have blind faith that you will arrive at the other side. And you will arrive alive. Be blessed, children, to what will be a very surprising week, because you will go, wow, like, wow. You know, nothing was coming my way. Nothing. And all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Like, psh, all of it's right in your lap. It just fell all in your lap all of a sudden when you've been working so hard at wanting it and trying to get to it, till finally when you just said, you know what, that's it, forget it, like, I give up. And then all of a sudden, boom, it lands in your lap. He goes, yes, so if there was ever evidence or a lesson, it is that you let go. You let go. You gave up the control. And it finally came your way today. God bless, children, to what will be a very encouraging week for many of you. For others, though, you will still be deciding whether you want to get in that boat. And I say, do so. Do so. God bless. Well, there you go. Hey, you people who are trying to decide whether you're going to get in the boat or not. Get in. Get in, for goodness sakes. Get in. If you do the same thing the same way all the time, you're not going to get a different result. I mean, not to quote Dr. Phil, I mean, I did like him in the beginning. I'm not crazy about him, but, like, you know, he does have great advice sometimes. You know, I always remember the one thing he said, you know, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again the same way, expecting a different result, think about that. Like, that's not going to happen. It's not. You have to change your way to get a different result. So for many of us, you know, seems like this week we're going to be put in awkward positions, you know, positions that we haven't been put in a while. So maybe you're going to go on a date and you haven't been on a date in a very long time. Or maybe you're going to step out of your comfort zone and actually ask someone out on a date. Or you're going to go, you know, out of your comfort zone and you're so good in math and you're going to take a course in art and try to open the creative aspect of yourself. So you're out of your comfort zone, you know, now all of a sudden you were number 1 up here in math and now you're down here as number 30 because you're starting somewhere new. And sometimes we have to do that to shake up the energy. So don't be afraid. As Dominic Sachet says, be bold, be brave. No, be bold and be blessed. Be blessed and be bold. Anyways, be bold, be brave, be blessed. Get out there and do it, guys. And we'll see you next week for sure. Don't forget to join me on all my social media for some daily wisdom from Whitehawk. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy what you see here. I love hearing your comments and just hearing from you guys in general. We'll see you next week. God bless.